Welcome back to White Fox After Hours.
Welcome.
I'm Scarlett.
And I'm Cody.
And today we have a really fun episode.
We do. We are bringing in the new year. First of all, we are recording this in the past, but Happy New Year. This is coming to you on the 2nd of Jan. So we would have had our New Year's Eve. We probably felt a little dusty yesterday. And now we're back. We are ready to kick off the new year with all of our New Year goal setting.
So we thought we would do an episode. I feel like end of year in 2024, like any end of year, it's good to reflect on the year and first of all, like acknowledge what you've achieved in that year.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect time to go back and like figure out what you've done and like actually pat yourself on the back for that.
Yeah. I feel like that's definitely an important first step is to be like,
Yeah.
the year might not have gone exactly how you planned it. It often doesn't, but you definitely accomplished a lot.
Yeah. And then also like reflect on what didn't make you happy in that year. So I feel like there's definitely things that you always want to leave in the year behind, but reflecting on the year and like, I don't know, acknowledging yourself for everything that you have done and then reflecting on what wasn't the best. It's always a good way to start and then go in with goal setting. So that's what we wanted to talk to everyone about today. So obviously you can do this at any time of the year, but I feel like going into a new year is when everyone wants to have a bit of a reset, a bit of a rebrand, and I think just go into the next year with a bit of purpose and like not just like coasting through again, like actually going in and like setting intentions for the year.
Yeah, I feel like you can do this at any time, but the new year is just such a good time because everyone usually has some time off and it's just a really good like fresh start, like clean slate to think what did I do well last year and what could I bring or what didn't I achieve last year that I want to this year. And I feel like it's kind of overwhelming for some people and I feel like that's why some people don't do it because it's like, how do I even start to think about goals and like achieving them and actually putting a plan in place? So that's why we wanted to do this episode because I feel like Scarlett and I do this every single year. We take it very seriously. We usually both make like a vision board and like have really set out goals. I feel like this year I'm going to do it more like the way that we are kind of talking about today. But normally I put it into like distinct categories and have like so many goals in each category. This year I think I just want to focus on like really achievable a few goals that's like actually can be done.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like there's so many ways to do it, but yeah, like I feel like everyone needs to go into the year with like new goals and like you might have goals from last year that you actually don't want to achieve anymore. Like it's changed. Like it's just like a good time to be intentional about your year, sit down and yeah, I guess it is just that. Just be intentional about your goals and like where you want to be by the end of next year.
This is actually making me excited. I just said to Scarlett before, like I feel like it's really easy to get lost in the burnout at the end of the year, but like this is such an exciting fresh start and like how good that you can just like rebrand whoever you want to be.
Literally, it's actually so exciting. I feel like, yeah, some people can, because you haven't done it before, it can feel scary.
Yeah.
But it actually is so exciting. Like I've lived my life by this for so long and it is so exciting. And that's why I started it early this year. Like I sat down with my friends and had like a night in and I literally gave them this like coaching booklet each where we went through everything, like from our values, like asked us all like different questions and then set out all of our goals, like did the wheel of life. And my friends left and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like that was amazing. You do usually do it at the like start of the year, but it is nice to like still like we're nearly there. And I'll like, yeah, we'll bring it into the new year anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just wanted to talk to everyone about the process and like just get your kick started. It's a nice thing to also, it is a nice thing to do by yourself, but it is also nice to like, if you are maybe feeling like it is a bit scary, like sit down with your friends and make a cute night out of it. Maybe find something like that as well, like what I'm talking about, like coaching kind of like book or like goal setting that you can get online.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get Scarlett to send me her template.
I will send that to you.
Definitely want to do that. It's just such a nice thing to like do for yourself. And it literally takes like you could do that in an hour if you wanted to. Maybe a bit more.
Like,
but
maybe like 2 hours if you're like really like sitting down, hour and a half.
Everyone has that time. Sit down one night and like it could change the whole course of your year. So
I'll be sending that over to Cody
no excuses.
soon. So yeah, the first point that we wanted to talk about is the reflection part of it.
Yes.
And just reflecting, sitting down and reflecting on your year.
Can be scary because I feel like looking at your whole year being like, did I achieve everything I wanted to? Like a lot of the time your expectations for yourself outweigh what is actually like possible in a year. But a lot of the time you achieve things you didn't even think were possible or like you didn't think would happen for you. And so I feel like it is such a good thing to do, and you have to be easy on yourself. Like don't expect too much of yourself, but like be proud of yourself for what you actually did do.
100%. And just because you didn't complete that goal in that year, like you still could have been working towards it. Like things take longer. Like you can have like 1 year goals, 1 week goals, 5 year goals. Like it doesn't have to be like in that year I didn't achieve it.
Yeah.
Do you have goals last year that you feel like you achieved?
Yeah, I wrote them down before because Scarlett was like talking me through the episode and I was like,
It is good to reflect, isn't it?
I think first of all, I really worked on like it's not that deep energy and like not letting little things really stress me out. And I feel like I'm like going into the new year in a much more calm place, which is really nice because I feel like things used to stress me out a lot more than they did now. And like that is a hard thing to kind of change. So that was one of mine.
Well done.
Thank you.
That is a good one. I feel like my top kind of one, like kind of my whole thing was like, and I've done my values before that we'll get into before is balance. And I feel like sometimes I'm like all or nothing. Like I'll go from like one thing of just like putting my all energy into one thing and then not the other. And where I feel most happy is where I'm like really balanced and have a good routine. And I feel like this year I really learned to prioritize myself more, like saying no to certain things and yes to certain things and just doing what I want to do. Like I've always been such a people pleaser, which I still do have tendencies to do that, but I still feel like this year I like prioritize myself more, and now I've like got a routine in life that I feel really happy with at the moment.
Yeah, that's so nice. Balance is one of the hardest things to create, I think, because there's just always going to be like more of one thing or more of another. But I agree, that's one of my top values as well. Especially when you're traveling a lot for work, it's really hard to create balance.
Yeah, I think it was just finding that. Like, I love my job, like I love traveling, but just like trying to find the balance in between those times. Is like was my goal, and I feel like I've gotten there, which is really good.
I love that. That was actually one of mine as well. Creating balance in my life, putting myself first. I feel like sometimes it's hard to make decisions and it might not be what you want to do, but sometimes putting yourself first and like making the decision that you feel like you have to do for yourself is like really the best thing you can do. So yeah, I feel like balance for me as well. One of mine was finishing uni. That was like
a big one.
5 years of my life. That was a lot. And I feel very free now and very happy and proud of myself. So that was a big one.
That is a really good one.
Thank you.
I feel like one of my other ones was like trusting myself more and like trusting my judgment more. I feel like I'm always someone that talks out everything so much, and I'm like, I feel like it's like a still going one, but like I feel like I've worked on a lot, like trusting myself more and like my own judgment rather than like
That's
having
huge.
so many different people's opinions. And I wouldn't say that I'm like completely there, but I feel like I've like made a lot of progress this year with that goal.
Yeah, I feel like all of these bigger things that are like self-work kind of stuff, it's kind of like constant work. Like you're not ever just going to be like, and I'm fixed and that's how it is now. But
and now my life is perfect.
And now I trust every single decision that I've ever made. Even making a lot of progress in something like that is like major. I feel like this year I really like worked on dating with intention and like actually like making myself do it one, and like just not really like putting too much pressure on it, the outcome I wanted from it, and actually just like asking for what I wanted and not ignoring red flags. I feel like that's something that I, especially towards the end of the year, I really focused on. So yeah, that's definitely
a good one.
a good one for me.
We've had some growth this year.
Oh yeah.
My one was just have fun. And I have done that.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, you can have so many goals that is like, I don't know, work on yourself, blah, blah, blah. But I had like just one that I just wanted to have fun with my friends all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like the friendships, like I had the friendships in my like life that I did before this year, but I've just like connected with everyone so much. Like I literally have the most amazing friends and I just have so much fun all the time. And that was one of my goals. It was just to have fun.
I love that. And we
I've
deserve it.
Yeah.
It's important.
I know that doesn't sound like a normal goal, but that was one of my goals. And
It should be though. Like we're literally in our mid-20s.
yeah. Well, I have had the fun
I
that I wrote down that I wanted to have.
Have fun, tit.
But yeah, so I feel like that's like the first step is for everyone.
Yeah.
Reflect on your year and pat yourself on the back for everything that you've achieved because we are.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, obviously there's like so many more things. Like the amount of places that Scarlett and I traveled this year, the amount of cool work things we did, like there was amazing opportunities all throughout the year, but like those are just like really notable things for us personally, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, definitely like, yeah, there's been so many amazing things that we've ticked off with work this year.
Yeah. Huge. But yeah.
No, this year has been a slay.
This year has been a slay. When I look back and I'm like, what did I do? I'm like, what didn't you do? I wasn't in the country.
Literally, I have so many people say that to me now, like I'm out and about and they're like, oh, like you're here. Well, how long are you here for?
Yeah.
I'm like, is this the main talking point that anyone has with me?
Because if it is, it's slay.
But that is the thing as well, what we were talking about in the last episode, when you like get funny to be like accepting when people are like, oh my God, your life is so amazing. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, it is, but like, oh, stop. Like,
I know. We should be like, yeah,
it is.
It is
that
amazing.
In fact, it is.
Yeah.
And can't wait for next year.
It just makes me so excited. Like talking about all this stuff, I'm like, wow, whole nother year, fresh energy. Like what is going to happen? Because so many of the things that have happened this year, I never would have thought.
It's actually crazy.
Like it's actually insane when you think about it.
I know. I love our life.
I know.
And then, yeah, reset, rebrand, goal set.
Yeah. How do we even attack this?
So I feel like the first thing is like, and this is what I did when I did this coaching booklet that was made by a coach. So the first one is like looking at your values and what you value, because it's actually so crazy how you don't prioritize your values because you actually don't know what they are.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you just don't live in alignment with it because you don't know. So I feel like the first thing's like figuring out what they are.
Yeah, and I think with the coaching thing that you said you did, it's good because it like has all the values there for you and I think it's easier to recognize when you're like looking at them and you're like, okay, yes, that, maybe not so much that, like they're actually like in front of you. Because when you're just like, what are my values? Like it's hard to like,
do I want to prioritize in my life?
in my whole life. Like that's when it gets kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do I even put that into like one word as well sometimes? But like, yeah, I think that's really good.
I feel like seeing them in front of you, you're like, okay, this is what maybe, like you can probably like look at them and you'd be like, oh, actually, yeah, I can see that. Like I do prioritize that. But then other things you're like, wow, that's why I feel upset. Or that's why I'm not feeling good in that part of my life because that's one of my values and I actually don't prioritize it, which is crazy to me. Like, but just actually seeing it. And then I feel like it makes, like once you kind of like know your values, because there's so many different values in the world.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many.
What are your main ones?
My 3 are balance, health.
Yeah.
I feel like I really find it hard to like break it down to like 3. My other one is connection.
Yeah.
With people. I feel weird to say this, but one of mine is beauty. But I feel like that's just like feeling good in yourself. For me, it is like feeling good in yourself. Yeah. That you do have that outwards then. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like it's not just like beautiful people, but just like feeling good in yourself. Yeah. Like that's one of my top ones. What would you say yours is before doing it? I should have gotten you to do this before the episode.
I know, I should have. But it's kind of good that like you've done it and I'm coming from the space of like about to do it, like prepping for all these things like people might be as well.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I sent it to you first.
I don't know like what all of them are, but from just like hearing you say that, balance is definitely huge for me. And like when I'm not in balance, I feel like that's when I like get really out of whack. Connection as well, like friends, family, everyone. Being like organized and prepared is definitely one for me.
Oh yeah, that is actually Because if I'm ever not like that, you're like,
That's my brain. Yeah.
because I feel like obviously like we have to be organizing work, but sometimes
Yeah.
we're like so on the go. And I really notice that if we are on the go and things haven't been
Yeah.
organized, like I feel like I can like work off the bat a bit more like chaotically, but you're just like,
I need my plan. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that is one for you.
Yeah, I think that is one for me for sure. And I feel like that's why I feel a bit chaotic right now, because it's just like crazy end of year kind of time. And I'm like, I've just let everything go and I'm like, which is also fun. But yeah, I think I'm my best self when I'm planned and organized. And then, I don't know. You said 3, right?
Yeah, there's so many. It's like love, fun. Like you have to do it. Maybe you have to do it.
I'll do it. But
I'll send it off to you
off the
and
bat,
you can.
I'm not surprised that ours are quite similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I did it with my friends and ours were all so similar. And you know how you always say like your friendships, like your values have to kind of align. And I was like, whoa, like this is crazy how similar they are. And I'm like, wow, that's why we're all friends. See, it's nice to do it with your friends because then you're like, wow, this is why we all have the same values.
That's so true. But then you can also see why like some people might have different ones and you're like, yeah, that makes sense for you.
That definitely makes sense. But yeah, I'm excited for you to do it.
Me
because
too.
I feel like once you write it out, you're like, whoa, that makes so much sense. And like, why don't we know these stuff about ourselves? Like it's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Why do we not know this about ourselves? Anyway, so I feel like that's like the first thing. And then like you said, like breaking down the goals into every aspect, which is what you already kind of do. Like just asking yourself the right questions. And there's so many. What do you normally break your sections down into?
I had like my health kind of goals, like things I wanted to do with like going to the gym and like just general health and wealth. And then I did like financial goals, which got a little bit lost with those ones. I did relationships, work, and then personal.
Yeah.
And I also did a section on my energy, like just a few words that I wanted to describe my energy as. And
that's nice.
Yeah.
Did you look back at that over the year?
I probably could have looked back at it more.
Yeah.
But I had my vision board. So I did this first. Well, first of all, I like did what we said, which is like reflected on my 2023 and then like things I achieved, things I could have done better. And then I created this based on that. And then I found, based on this, my photos for my vision board. And I see my vision board all the time. So I feel like that.
It's good to link it.
Yeah, but I think maybe I'm going to like set a reminder to like look back at this every month or something. Like just to like, because I feel like I let it go a little bit because I forgot.
When life gets busy, you kind of forget.
Yeah. But I think this year, like, I think it's really good. Is that how you do yours as well with like, what are your categories?
All like different categories.
Yeah.
There's like a few more. It was like, it's like the same ones, like relationship, like, so friends, then relationship, like love. So yeah, I feel like just setting out every single category in your life and just like trying to focus on like 3 kind of goals that you want to work towards.
Wait, overall or in each category?
Sorry, like 3 like kind of things that you want to work on in that category.
Yeah.
So for example, like work might be like you might not be in a job that you like, so like look for a new job, or you could be in that job where you want like a certain promotion. So like just talking through like all the things that you want.
Yes. So have you done all of this already?
I have done it all.
Slay. What would you say is your like top categories that you're working on?
Okay, so in this book that I was doing, like there was the Wheel of Life, and I had to like color in like how you were like in different sections.
Oh yeah.
Romance was at 0. So that was a bit eye-opening.
Yeah.
I feel like mine, I feel like it's I have like a broad kind of like ones over everything. But I feel like that's definitely something that I want to focus on this year.
Romance. Yeah. Love that.
Love.
Just gonna be wined and dined.
I think just like taking like what you said you did last year, like taking dating a bit more seriously. I don't know, it's hard because like I do really enjoy being by myself, but I think I've gotten to the stage where I'm happy by myself, but like it'd be nice to have someone else kind of vibes.
Yeah. No, I get you.
And then finance is one that I want to just be like probably better at saving. And like, it's just, I just don't focus on it as my main priority, I suppose.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that's something that I want to work on. And then health is one that I'm like currently working on, but just like getting into like a really good routine, which I think I've started to. But yeah, that's kind of the things where I like my main kind of things where I want to work on.
Yeah. That's
Being a healthy girl with brain and mind.
healthy girl
And
in
learning actually is one of mine. Like, is listening to more podcasts, reading more, like knowing more things.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I get like stuck in this thing of just like going through my day and not like knowing more things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like it's on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like you're
and
just
like,
going through.
I want to learn things, like listen to different podcasts and people talking. Like, I listen to this I've started already. So I've started my goals in 2024.
Slay.
I listened to this relationship podcast about how you can have like literally like 20 orgasms, 20 different types of orgasms. It's the best podcast I've ever listened to. I'm going to send it to you. But like, I just want to learn about things and different topics that I don't know about.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like your life feels more full when you're like learning constantly.
I don't want to just know about the Instagram algorithm.
No.
Love it.
Yes.
I want to know more, like,
we run deeper
than
just the one lane.
But yeah, that was one of my like, what are yours based off kind of like just what you know?
Yeah, I feel like if I'm thinking of the areas in life, definitely health. I feel like I let just like my routine go a little bit at the end of the year, and I really want to get back on that and just have like a diverse kind of bunch of things that I actually do as exercise, and it doesn't have to always be like just going to the gym. Yeah, it can be like all different kinds of things. Learning is a really nice one. I definitely want to read more. Like I was saying to Scarlett, I feel like I don't watch movies or like TV shows. Like I want to be across things.
Maybe yours is just like relaxing more as well.
I think
feel like
so.
you've
More
been,
downtime.
Like, very like, yeah, you don't have your downtime. Now that you finish uni, silly season's over.
Yeah.
Cody needs some R&R.
I need some R&R, definitely. And I feel like, yeah, like the romance thing as well. It's like, I feel like I didn't let myself like do nice things for people in the past, and like that's something that I want to do more now, because it's like it's nice to do stuff like that. I'm opening up. I'm softening with age. Yeah,
I like the one of that's also one of mine is just like doing different things, like having like, I feel like at the moment I'm in a really good routine of like walking and gym and everything. I've only just kind of gotten back into it and I'm like feeling good with that. But yeah, like adding in like a Pilates class or like a meditation class or like saunaing more and just like having like those like little wholesome activities.
Yeah, or like doing a run with your friends, like make it fun so that you actually want to do it. I feel like if I do the same thing, I just get sick of it. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
Like I'm having a bit of a wholesomeness rebrand at the moment. But I went to Slow House on a Friday night. And it was, like, which for anyone listening is like this bath soak house, like sauna.
So nice.
So nice. Cody's been there a few times as well. Like, but it's just like such a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
I nearly fainted too. Did I tell you about that?
No.
We've both got the fainting like weird gene. I was by myself as well.
Oh my God.
I was
that's
like, what
so
do I do?
scary.
What do I do? I was like walking around like, what do I do right now? Do I just sit in the middle of this place where everyone is with their friends by myself? Do I just sit down?
You really feel like you're gonna faint?
Yeah. And then
oh my God, imagine.
No, I know. And I saw like one of the girls who worked there, then I know, and I was like, I'm about to faint. She like gave me a towel to put on my head, like gave me like a coconut water. She was like, this will help with your electrolytes. And I was okay, but I was like, what do I do right now?
That must happen a lot.
Surely, because me and Cody both nearly fainted. We're fainty girls.
Literally. It was from the sauna to the ice bath. I got out of the ice bath and I was like,
I've done it before.
Catch me, please.
It was the magnesium.
Yeah.
Because there's a magnesium bath.
Yeah. True.
Oh, I don't know, but I was nearly drowned.
I was nearly on the floor.
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, just like making more plans like that, I think is like a nice goal.
Yeah.
Lots of goals to work towards.
Lots of things to think about.
Bigger goals are though. Like I feel like I love my life at the moment, which is nice. There's just like little
really
things
nice.
that I want to change.
Yeah.
But like bigger goals.
I mean, I guess like, yeah.
Finding the love of my
Thinking
life
about
is
a relationship is a big goal. I was like, how do I say this? Yeah. That definitely does like change your life a lot. So I feel like that is a big thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I'm kind of the same. I'm like, ooh, what's next? I really need to have like I need to do this whole process. But like just initially,
Yeah.
I feel like health is going to be huge for me.
Yeah.
And just like balancing everything.
Yeah. And like, I feel like so many people would have like bigger career goals and stuff where like I like obviously have like career goals, but like happy where I'm at with that. So it's like nice, like focus on other, like we get to focus on other things as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, lots to think about.
Lots to think about.
Lots of different segments. And then like, yeah, once you like kind of segment that out, I feel like it's like a lot clearer to see rather than like it feels a bit scary if you're like, what are my big goals? Like, what are they?
Yeah.
But like segmenting them out into every section, it just feels a bit easier because you're like, oh, like friends, like what do I want to do? Like I want to text my friends more, like ask them to hang out and have different plans, like connect with them more and remember what they're doing and ask them about it. Like just like having those little things broken down, it just doesn't feel as scary as like, what are my 3 top goals of my life right now?
And I think as well, like when you're thinking about this stuff, make sure it actually is like achievable and like something that you can actually do, like specific, right? Like, you know how people talk like in school, you talk about like SMART goals. It actually is true. Like they need to be like specific and like actually like measurable and make sure that you can do it.
Like you're not just going to say like, get $1 million.
Yeah.
Like start saving, learn how to invest.
Yeah.
Start putting away like $100 a week, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever is doable for you. But like just having like tangible goals, I think. But I think you can have overall like bigger goals that is like, okay, like in the next 10 years, I want to do, well, 10 years, I don't know, like whatever it is, like have things that you want to start working towards, but like break them down.
Yeah.
And then what Cody was talking about, like mood boarding and visualization. I feel like there's like 2 different type of people. Like there's like that woo-woo kind of person that like wants to manifest and like put like visualize things. Or there's someone who like actually just needs like you think a bit more like
logically,
yeah. And you need to just break down your goals and then like still have a vision board. I think is important because you can like visually see that in your head. But they will like have their like do their goals by actually just looking at them written down and like work towards measurable things. But then other people are big on like manifestation and visualization, which we are. We believe
definitely.
In that.
I feel like we're like somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But I definitely go more to the like visualization, manifesting side because I feel like you need both personally. Like I feel like you really do need to believe that this stuff will happen for you, and actually seeing it and having a reminder every day is like so helpful for just like actually like inviting it into your life. Because otherwise I do feel like if you've just written it down, unless you've got some sort of other way of reminding yourself, you kind of forget about it.
I agree. I feel like it's so much fun putting together a vision board as well. Like it's so exciting.
I love it. My friends and I always do it together. It's so cute.
It's such a nice, I feel like it's such a nice idea to get all your friends together and do it together. Like it's a nice little girls' night in and it's like so exciting. Like you get to like, you literally get to pick your life. Like you get to pick out what you want for your life and intentionally work towards that. Like that's
I know.
so exciting.
It is. It's just like, what do I want? Okay, cool. Let's just like make it happen. Like that's amazing that we can do that.
We're having a 2025 rebrand.
Yeah, we are. And I'm so here for it. I'm ready for it.
Cody sat down at the start of the episode and she's like, I like doing these episodes because I don't know if I'm ready for them, and then I am, but now
I'm like, let's go.
Let's go. 2025.
I also really like making, or make it on Pinterest. And I feel like if you've done it in the way of like separating the categories, it's a lot easier to find photos for things because you can be like, this goal, let's type in like, I don't know, big stack of cash.
That is on my mood board, that is for sure.
And so like you put that on there, and then there's like, I think when I do it, I kind of like to have like sections on my mood board of like, this is my like travel section. This is my like this section, whatever. And it's just easier to like categorize it. But once the mood board is made, which Pinterest is going to be your like best friend for that, there's so much on there. Then I like to make it my laptop like screensaver, and sometimes maybe I'll make it my phone screensaver this year.
I think that's a good idea to have it on your phone. You're on your phone every single day.
Yeah.
Like that's a nice thing to do. And I also want to have my goals in my notes and like kind of like look back at them all the time. just so we know we're working towards them. Because I feel like in the busyness of life, sometimes we forget to go back and look.
Yeah.
But we're working towards our goals in 2025. That's really, it's happening.
What would you say is your like manifesting process? Do you do anything else?
I think that I need to get better at doing this. I feel like I have always like set my goals in a way of like having like this mantra that I'll say to myself, like, or like I'll like have like, oh, this is what I want, and like keep telling myself like what I want. But I have been trying to visualize things more and manifest things more. And I think like, well, my process is kind of like, yeah, I always like have a mood board of like what I want and like kind of like what would my life look like if I had what I wanted.
Yeah.
And like try and say that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to get back into manifesting more because I feel like that's something that I haven't really been doing.
Same actually. Like I feel like I have like subconsciously been thinking about I want this, and then it like kind of finds its way into my life. But I haven't been actively being like, this is what I need, and like visualizing it and like writing it down and doing little things for it. But I feel like even just thinking about what you want and making decisions that align with that is manifesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Agree. I feel like it is something that you do need to visualize though. Like you actually need to see like what you want and imagine how you would feel if you get it. Like that's how this is actually somehow how I do it. I think about the feeling that I would get if I would have that. Like I just like try to make myself excited about like having something that I don't have.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is easier when you can visualize it through your mood board. Like you're going to feel more excited about it. And it's actually, I feel like everyone needs to have a mood board for their year.
Yeah.
Like you can't go into the next year without having your goals written out and your mood board and everything ready.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like as well, you need to have it in a place that you can see every day. Like there's no point really doing the whole mood board and then like chucking it in a closet and not seeing it. Although
the phone screen's a good one.
I definitely had a few encounters that people would be like, oh, what's that? And I'd be like, don't look at that.
I
That's
feel
me.
like it is pretty crazy though. Like sometimes like you'll go back and look at your goals or like something that you've set intentionally. Like I remember like one for me that I feel like I manifested into my life, and I did do things towards, but like my one was like, this was when I first moved to Sydney. I was like, I want to work somewhere that I like am doing what I love, surrounded by people who are like-minded. And that is literally what I have now.
Yeah.
Like couldn't be more my life than right now. And I feel like I kind of forgot about that goal that I made.
Yeah.
Like not like forgot about, I just wasn't thinking about it on the top of my head. But then looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that's literally what I manifested into my life.
Yeah.
But it's so powerful actually putting that out into the universe. Even if you do forget about it for a few months, like you go back and you look at your like booklet of like wherever you've got your goals and you're like, wow, like I literally have the life that I've manifested. And I feel like we've both had that so much where we've like manifested things into our life or like set goals and put out intentions and gotten that. So it's like, it's so crazy how much it works, like just being intentional with your life.
Yeah, for sure.
And I will never stop doing that.
No, it's fun because once you start seeing things happen as well, you're like, what else can I do?
What else can I
manifest? Feel like we have like spoken about this with so many guests we've had on the podcast as well that have been really successful, and that they all manifest. Like
every
they all do it.
single successful person.
Yeah.
They set their goals, they manifest, and that's why they have what they have in their life.
Literally. And it's just like not having that limiting mindset of thinking that like it's not possible. Like actually, this is what I was going to say before, is that you have to talk to yourself as if you already have it. Like it's all about your language as well. And you've got to be really careful with some of the negative things or thoughts
100%.
that you might have. Like that is actually holding you back, and like it's making like the universe or whatever you believe in think that you can't have that or you're not ready for that because you're thinking this way. It's like fully blocking it. So I feel like starting with, once you have created all these things, if you haven't done much manifesting before, really being careful about how you talk to yourself and like how you talk about these things. Like you really need to talk about it as if you already have it.
Yeah, agreed. And make yourself feel like you already have it.
Yeah.
And that you do deserve it. I think that is like something that you need to think about. Like,
yeah,
you deserve to have this in your life. Like, and not like be imposter syndrome vibes. Like you can do this.
Yeah.
And like allowing things to come into your life, because everything is about energy. The energy that you're putting out and the intention that you're putting out is 100% coming back. So if you're putting out that negative energy, like I can't have that yet, I'm not ready for that. Well, no, you're obviously not going to have it. But if you're putting out that energy being like, I'm ready to receive this, like things are going to come into your life so much easier, and the things that you're manifesting are going to come into your life.
Definitely. And I feel like this is like so real for like the people that come into your life as well. Like your friendships, you can just see why certain people are friends, because they're like really operate on the same wavelength. They have the same values. And if you're not like loving your friendships, that's why like there's a disconnect there. Or like
you need to have people around you who are like lifting you up and you're inspired by.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah. We're going to be manifesting abundant queens in 2025 and I can't wait personally.
I'm excited for next year. I feel like it's nice to have like that little this year for anyone listening. But let's make this year a good year. I feel like there's so many things that you can be doing to like start off the year.
Yes.
In a little reset, rebrand kind of way. And it's so fun.
I know.
Change it up.
I know. I'm excited for everyone. You don't have to be doing the
same thing all the time. Like you can change it up whenever you want.
And I feel like whatever works for you as well. Like this is what we're doing. And I feel like coming at it from like all different angles is really helpful. But whatever works for you, it's just a good time to like reset and just think about what you want to prioritize.
100%. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode and excited for everyone's 2025 mood boards.
I know.
It's time to grab yourself a wine with the girls or a tea. Sit at home. Set your goals. But yeah, make sure you subscribe and download wherever you get your podcast.
And make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at White Fox After Hours. And we'll see you next week.